Funding now on Indiegogo, it's Shadowbinders, our second chance offer to get 2 hardcovers of our classic webcomic delivered to your door. Steampunk, fantasy, and romantic comedy from Clownfish Comics. Go to Indiegogo, check out the link in the description below. Now on with the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it is almost Mario Day.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Mario Day.
35th anniversary.
Yeah, so this is a big one, and we're going to talk about Playing with Power, which is the Nintendo documentary on Crackle.
Yes.
Of all places, Crackle.
Yeah, and we watched it, and it was really, really good.
It was very good. I do watch a lot of video game industry documentaries.
He does.
And I will say that I enjoyed this one possibly the most of any that I've seen. I liked it quite a bit.
I liked it too.
It was very, I thought it was very even-handed.
Mm-hmm.
They even got some of Nintendo's adversaries in there to talk about
Yes.
what happened with Sega and Xbox and Atari and all of this stuff. Nolan Bushnell was in there quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They had Tom Kalinske in there. So it was actually a really good documentary produced by Sean Astin.
Mm-hmm. He was like our age.
He was like our age, and he did
He might be older than us.
He's a couple years. I think he's a couple years older.
Okay.
Than her. But he did a damn fine job.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Will Wheaton, it was good.
He didn't say anything controversial.
He
but
didn't. He had
just
his Resist
annoys me.
shirt on, though,
He
just
just
to be.
annoys
Yeah.
me because he's Will Wheaton, and I'm just like, shut up, Wesley. Anyway, so.
I will tell you, I got the vibe that he probably went on and on and on, and I think they kind of cut his scenes because he was not in it that much.
No.
He was in it maybe a minute out of each episode total. And I get the vibe that, he wants to pontificate about all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
But, they got different people's opinions. Nolan Bushnell was very interesting to listen to.
I agree.
And Tom Kalinske seems like a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch because we grew up in the time when Nintendo came out,
Yes.
like the original NES. Yes, because we're old. We're not boomer old, but we are older. So we were around when that started, and we were around for all of this stuff. So it was kind of like cool to watch, the past unfold.
Yeah. So, one thing we both talked about we wanted to do on this channel more of is, we hate having to always bring you the bad news.
Right.
So we want to talk more about things that we like. And yeah, this one definitely gets 2 enthusiastic, white-gloved, plumber-gloved thumbs up, I think.
Well, it gets 4 if you count me too.
I was going to say from you and
2
me.
princess gloves because I always played Peach. I always did.
That's right.
I did. It was just, I always did.
So we're going to talk more about it before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 181,000. Thank you. Now we're playing with power.
That's right.
Superpower. But yeah, it was actually really good. What I'm surprised at is that the lack of scores.
Yeah. I was surprised by that too. People not watching it. They don't know what's on. Is it not available to rate?
I think people aren't watching it. I'll tell you why, because it's on Crackle.
It is. It's on Crackle, but you can watch it for free.
Yeah, check it out on Crackle, which has changed its layout quite a bit. I know Sony sold it, I guess, but they still own part of it, which is weird because they kept having PlayStation.
I'm sorry, I have to watch
PlayStation ads.
Actually, my nephew's probably going to watch this, and my sister probably will too. I was going to let my sister know about this because I'm sure he'd love to watch it. But he very mumuch appreciate the picture for the season 1, episode 4.
Yeah,
because he is a huge fan of Luigi's Mansion. So shout out to my nephew because he loves Luigi's Mansion and Mario. He's a huge Mario fan.
There's Will Wheaton with his Resist shirt.
He looks like a grumpy old man. Like
He does. It was good. It was really good. And Crackle, it's interesting that they're doing original series now because before it was just kind of a dumping ground for, but everybody's trying to, get in streaming. I guess Chicken Soup for the Soul bought Crackle.
Yes.
But Sony still owns part of it. Like I said, they were advertising the PS5 heavily during it, but you can watch it for free. It's definitely worth your time. It is one of the most in-depth histories, I think, of Nintendo. Now, I know Netflix did their documentary. We only got a couple episodes into it. It wasn't about Nintendo. It was about the entire video game industry. Mm-hmm. Theirs had I believe, a very political bent to it because it was like, here's the history of the video game industry. Now let's take a detour and spotlight more diverse voices.
Yeah.
And it didn't fit with the rest of the narrative. You know, it was kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing, and that's fine. You know, but it's very obvious that they kind of...
They're probably going to be mad about this one, too, for the same reasons, you know, even though that Nintendo itself is Asian. You know?
Yeah, it actually is a very, like, factual,
very interesting.
well done documentary.
Now, I'll tell you what was really annoying, though. And it wasn't about the documentary. It was because, it was because every time they were going to talk about something, it was so funny. Right before they'd mention it, Kneon over here would say, oh, that was because of blah, 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 blah. And then they didn't mention it. So he, like, constantly the whole way through was like, and he always had it right, too. He's like a walking effing encyclopedia on this stuff.
Okay, so when it comes to... I wanted to work for Sega at one point. I almost got a job at Sega. I don't know if people... I know I talked to... we had Doug Tenaple on for an interview a couple of years ago, and I talked a little bit about it. But yes, when I was younger, I almost got a job at Sega. I wanted to work in the video game industry when I was living in the Bay Area, and I didn't do it because I couldn't afford to live in San Francisco even back then on what they paid. But, I grew up reading EGM. My life was basically Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Pro, going to arcades, and going to comic book shops.
Yes, I'd gotten that from discussions with you.
And I always went on my bike. I always rode my bike everywhere to go to the, these places. And that was what I did. I mean, we used to hang out at the mall.
Yeah, when we were kids, everybody hung out at the malls.
You know, and the mall had like 3 arcades. And we had a bookstore, and I used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and that was my childhood. You know, it was very nerdy, and I also played baseball too. So I mean, whatever, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, so I absorbed a lot of this like retro gaming knowledge, which is why I want to open an arcade.
He does. He and Squid King want to open one. Side note: I used to play baseball too.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, I did, but I did.
Yeah,
I did, but I was like a kid. It's like more like a t-ball thing, but I played ball.
That's still kind of baseball.
It was.
Yeah. With the tube and you put the ball in.
Well, I actually didn't need it, but some kids did, but I didn't need it. I could hit it on my own. Thank you very much. But anyway, continue.
I'm sure you can hit it on your own.
I can.
But yeah, I would highly recommend it. I don't understand why more people aren't talking about it. And I think it's because it's on Crackle.
I really recommend you watch it because it's really good, and give it some reviews, and because I'm surprised that there aren't any. It's just... I don't know. They said there's not enough data. So maybe people aren't doing it? I don't know. Or is it not open?
No, it's
determined.
Open. No, it said March 1st.
Maybe they're just trying to get enough to quantify it. I don't know. But it's definitely worth a watch. It's 5 episodes. I was entertained the whole way through. It was interesting. You learn stuff. Like, I didn't know that they made this or that. I knew they made cards, but I didn't know about some of the other stuff they made.
A lot of toys they made back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then some of the games, some of the ways they came up with things and how it happened were really, really interesting. Like I said, Kneon knew most of it anyway. I did not. But it was funny at the end because one guy was talking about when he was dating his wife. And I had to laugh. I had to laugh so hard. Now, it was a different version of the game. But he was talking about how he had what was he playing? Street Fighter, I forget, 2?
It was Street Fighter 2.
And he was saying about how, he kept beating his wife and she didn't like it, or his girlfriend at the time, and he kept beating her and she was getting mad. And I had to laugh. I turned around and looked at Kneon because when we first started dating, he kept doing it to me.
With Alpha 2, yeah. Yeah.
He did a lot of crappy things to me. I'm married to him.
I think it was Trip Hawkins. I'm not 100% sure, but he said that he was...
No, it wasn't him. It was somebody else.
Was it Trip Hawkins?
No, it was somebody else.
It was during the end. I don't know. Anyway, one of the folks they had on there said that they were beating their future spouse in Street Fighter, and I did do that to Geeky Street Fighter Alpha 2 because I used to hustle kids in Street Fighter in the arcades, and I didn't have the common sense. I didn't have the common sense to know that you don't beat up your girlfriend in Street Fighter, even if you're totally capable of it. You let her win.
That's true. Except for the fact that when in real life wrestling, I usually win.
That's true. That is true.
I was a stronger one.
So yeah.
Not now. He goes to the gym, I don't win, but before he went to the gym, I did.
It was very good. I highly recommend it. Now tomorrow, on Mario Day, they're having sales, 35% off of Mario games.
That's pretty cool.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, you do think it's cool because you already have a list in your head of what you want to buy. You already told me you're buying something.
I'm seriously thinking of that. I'm like, okay, well, this is going on for a couple days now.
We have a lot of these though, don't we?
Yeah. Do we have Luigi's Mansion 3? Squid King have it?
I think we do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do.
Because he buys these Switch games and they just disappear down the memory.
I haven't played that.
I haven't played it yet.
I only played I didn't play the second one because it was for DS
DS,
or whatever.
yeah.
I played the first one when I was pregnant with Pinky Boo. I played that one, but I didn't play the third one. It was funny. I don't play games much now because I don't have time. But when Squid King was little, I used to play Mario Galaxy. I used to play Kingdom Hearts and stuff, and he'd have me beat stuff for him, or he wanted me to play so he could watch me because I used to play games once upon a time. I was kick-ass at Tetris, but I don't play much anymore because I don't have time.
Well, that's what got us about this too. Is they showed families playing the Wii together, and Squid King and I have a lot of really good memories playing Mario 64 with him on N64, and then we bought it late when we got the Wii. We just got it on WiiWare, so we didn't have a bunch of consoles. We got rid of the GameCube, got rid of the N64, and just had the Wii. But yeah, you played Mario Galaxy with him. Pinky Boo, she used to play Punch Out all the time, and man, she really would.
She did. We have video of that.
We have video of her when she's like 2. Yeah.
She's kicking his ass. It was funny.
I mean, you really get kicked in the feels, especially at the end, because Nintendo is so different from other consoles in that it is like a cross-generational thing, and it's more of an emotional thing.
They more care about their customers than they do sometimes about profits and things. And that arguably, some people argue otherwise, but it's cool because it's a family thing. It's something that I think everybody relates to. Especially if you're like under 50 or so. Yeah. And it's just everybody has stories attached to gaming systems and Nintendo. And I think that's why the Super Nintendo World is going to do so well at Universal in Japan and then over here in the United States when it opens. Because, Mario, I think, is like you always say, Mario is more this generation's like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And, and Pokemon and things like that, they're tied to Nintendo too. And, I agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's so weird. You look at Nintendo and I don't think could be argued there's some change, whatever, but they're like a less evil Disney. Disney is...
They're less evil Disney.
Well, no, Disney...
They're the Wario!
They are, yeah. Like, Disney has gone down a very dark path. I think that they've deviated from Walt's core values. But then you look at Nintendo, and they're still kind of holding, sticking to their guns. So... I mean, that could totally change, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody argue otherwise.
Yeah, not everybody just, agrees with every decision they make, but I think they're a company that has more integrity than Disney does at this point. I think they're going to last a long time, even if they make missteps. Seems like every other console, they wind up effing it up somehow, but I think they'll be around for a long time.
At least the IP will.
Yeah, right. Oh, God, Disney will buy that, too.
They better not.
That's all we need. All right, so check it out, guys. Playing with Power. It's on Crackle. Check it out. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.